To continue where we left off yesterday, we were focusing on the verse, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Thee alone do we worship, and Thee alone do we seek from. This particular verse encompasses ibadah in its entirety. Ibadah is no more and no less than these two words. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. How we express that varies. Pray 5 times a day, fast in the month of Ramadan, and the rest of it. Those are the formalities, the rituals in which we engage, in which we will engage right now. You will agree that as much as we are all united tonight in the performance of this salah, the quality and the intensity of each one's salah is different. So we make the same ruku', we make the same sajdatan, the 2 sajdas. But my sajda and your sajda are very different. It's like they say, tu kuja man kuja. I'm here and most of you are up there. Performing the same sajda. But my sajda is at the bottom and yours is at the top. I have to work towards that. I have to work towards that. So salah has 2 aspects to it. It has the outer rituals and the inner intensity. We have to build that intensity. The outer rituals are determined, perfected by the ulama, and it's easy to know what they are. But the inner intensity is a very difficult element to grab hold of. Very difficult. And you often find that some of the humblest people who work as parking lot attendants, fruit vendors, or in South Asian terms, coolies. Remember the coolie? He would be the sheikh of the ulama. Because he has aspired to that lofty position, despite the fact that his knowledge of the rituals, the outer performances of when a sajda is a sajda, when does your wudu break, what are the prerequisites for fasting, what happens if I swallow my spittle when I'm fasting. The ulama are perfect in answering that. But how do you maintain that consciousness throughout your entire salah? And I know that many of you, like me, struggle with that. It's one thing to make the intent that I'm going to be making the inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alameen. It's one thing to utter that. It's quite another to internalize it. To say my prayer, my rituals, my life, my death is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those who are able to ascend that path, they move from Islam to Iman to Ihsan. Islam, we told you yesterday, is an outer manifestation of no more than your accreditation to a particular group, the Muslims. So you are entitled to certain privileges, certain rules, certain rights, and so on. Iman is that inner condition. Iman is that inner condition. But here's the catch. Iman in and of itself is not enough to give you that accreditation. So your heart could be filled with Iman, but if you do not identify with the Muslim community, you will not be treated as a Muslim. Even if you happen to be my uncle. So Abbas radiallahu anhu is imprisoned during the Battle of Badr because he was fighting on the other side. And then uncle and nephew confront each other. And uncle tells nephew, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he says, you know full well that I believe. And Rasulullah says, that's not enough. You have to break from the past. You have to break from your community. You must be willing to identify. You must udkhulu fi silmi kaffa. You must enter Islam in its entirety. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll talk about the rest.